Hey everybody, God bless. This is Jason Lewis. I've been down here training myself as most people quarantine themselves because we're in the coronavirus apocalypse. A lot of gyms are closing or closed already. And, you might be forced to work out in your own little makeshift gym. This is kind of mine, my little makeshift gym. I got my little weight bench, my little boxing gloves, tight pads, punching bag, weights, sticks, and a bunch of other crap you can't see in this room. I know it kind of looks like a dungeon in here. It's kind of a work in progress. I know it looks like a dungeon. Yeah, shit, it is. You come in here, some wrong person come in here, this is where I'll probably torture you. But nah, that's a joke, y'all. Not really. But anyway, as I'm saying, as I was working out today, I got to thinking about, punches. I was sitting there fooling around the bag. I did some curls, just kind of working out, building a little sweat. And one thing I want to talk about is punches today. Actually, one particular punch is the jab. Real quick, I want to give my opinion about the jab. In my personal opinion, I think the jab is the most important move of all the fighting and all the martial arts. It's just my humble opinion. All the fighting or whatever. That's my opinion, and I'm sticking with it. I know a lot of people may have different opinions about it, and they're entitled to their opinion. But mine, I think it's the most important. With the jab, you can also score with it. You can hit with it. You can probe and see where people's energy is. I can set up knockout shots. I can set up kicks. I can set up a lot of different things off the jab. I can move people around to left and right. I can put them where I want to put them. All off knowing how to use a jab. Reason I'm going over the jab, the thing I see a lot is a lot of people will throw their jab, but they just having trouble getting a lot of snap and power out of the jab. Like for instance, you'll see people throw a jab and they'll just go with their arm like that. They probably don't look like it looks like this. It might look like that, or they'll body it into that. They're trying to and do that kind of thing. Or if we start getting into double and triple jabs, you'll see two weak jabs or two funny looking jabs. So I'm gonna kind of go over that here today. I'm not gonna go over every way to throw a jab. There's a million and one ways to throw a jab. I'm just gonna go over like maybe 2 or 3 different ways to throw a jab. I'm not really going into too much detail. But like I said, if you ain't got no weights around, you kind of want to do a little shadow boxing. Hopefully this will get you started. That's what I'm hoping. I'm here to help, Anyway, the jab. What is the jab? First of all, I think I'm going to go over what I'm planning on going over today. One, how to throw the jab, obviously. A few do's and don'ts. And that's pretty much it. And what is it? First of all, what is a jab? A jab is basically the shot you throw off your lead hand, your straight shot off your lead hand. It can be powerful, it can be weak. Well, it shouldn't be weak. It has a lot of different uses. It's pretty much the shot you throw off your lead hand. Lead hand meaning whatever foot is forward, my jabbing hand. So if you hear somebody say jab, whatever foot that is forward. So right now, if I stand square and I get in a fighting stance, put my left foot forward, right foot back, heel slightly off the ground. My left foot is forward, so my left hand is my jabbing hand. If I have my right foot forward, my right hand is my jabbing hand. If I'm in southpaw or left-handed position. Typically in most martial arts or most fighting, most boxing, most styles, except for maybe 1 or 2, if you're right-handed, you'll put your right foot back because you want to knock them out with your power hand and probe or score with your weaker hand, your non-dominant hand. I won't call it weak, non-dominant hand. So that's what it is, So since I'm right-handed, I'm going to put my right foot back, first of all. So first jab we'll go over is a stepping jab, which is pretty much the basic. I think it's the easiest one to learn, in my opinion. Like I said, all these are probably my opinion. You can agree or disagree. You're entitled to it. First of all, from a fighting stance, start with right foot back. I like to keep both hands up. Just a good habit to have your hands up, at least one, by your cheek, one by your cheek, and this one out here about 45 or just out here, So when I step and jab, I'm going to push off my back foot. And as I push off my back foot, as this goes out, my hand goes out. So as my foot goes out, my hand goes out, and I bring this up and forward. So real quick, it's just boom, hit, pop. Step and jab, boom. Look right at the target, pop. When I'm doing my step and jab, I'm not flaring my elbow out. What the hell is that? Ew. I'm not flaring my elbow out to get a lot of power. I'm just going straight out, straight in, straight out, straight in. I don't want to come up like that. Straight out, straight in. So when I'm doing my jab, boom, boom. I don't have a lot of space, so that's kind of why I'm going back and forth. So when I step and jab, boom, and I'm just right there. I back up, step, as I hit on impact, I bring both back. So I'm here, boom, boom. And I'm just pushing off my back foot. You ever see a sword fighter, they do fencing where they're kind of like doing that kind of number? That's pretty much what it is. You know, it's kind of like the same footwork, except I'm coming here. Now, why am I stepping? Okay. Like I said, I want to talk about power getting into the jab. This will sound a little bit counter. I don't know what the hell this is on the floor. This might sound a little counterproductive, but or counterintuitive or retarded, whatever you want to call it. But when you throw a punch, and this really goes for all punches, when you throw a punch, you want to hit with your body and not with your arm. I know that sounds retarded, but you know, bear with me and I'll explain. Basically, when I'm stepping, for that split second, I'm actually coming forward, all 200, and I don't want to talk about pounds, going into my target, coming out through my hand. So all the energy is coming up, coming forward, and out to my fist, okay? Or out to my hand, boom. When I throw my jab, the only time, let me back up a little bit. I'm coming forward. I want to hit my body. So basically my whole mass is coming forward. It's coming forward and in. So my whole mass is coming into you. So when I hit, boom, my mass is coming into you. So what I see a lot of people do is they'll stand there and I say throw a jab, and maybe they got their elbows in, but they just throw it with their arm like that, right? They'll try to go as hard as they can, or they'll try to, you know, if they're a guy, men do this most, they'll try to come back, and then draw back like that. I'm gonna tell you right now, if you draw back, if that person knows how to fight, he's gonna hit you 132 times, but you ain't gonna feel two of them because you're gonna be asleep. Your mom will be waking you up, and she's gonna tell you how you effed up, so don't do that. So come straight out, straight back. So as I come forward, another thing, on impact, that's the only time I want to be tight, okay? As I come out and jab, I tighten my fist, and then I relax. So it's relax, relax, relax going out, and I tighten. So as I come forward, boom, and I bring it back, okay? I was getting ready to make another point, and it'll come back to me. Oh, another thing, my arm isn't doing that much work. This goes back to what I said. You're punching with your body, and not so much with my arm. My arm, actually, is only doing that much work, okay? I'm pretty sure most of y'all, unless you got an issue, you pretty much do this all day, right? Right? So if I add my body behind it, boom, 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 okay, step and jab, boom, boom, and I'm moving this back a little bit. So, and now I can hit with power, but I ain't putting a whole lot of effort in wearing myself out. I'm not sitting here and trying to do that stuff. That's not going to work. And plus, if you start pushing your punches in the fighting world, what'll happen is you'll push a punch, and if you miss, you got so much of momentum coming forward, that dude's going to, boom, lay you out, kick you in the head, something bad will happen to you most of the time. There's nothing worse than hitting air. I can tell you that right now. You know, you don't want to punch somebody and just totally miss. Even though it happens for a split second, it seems like an eternity, because you'd be like, please kill me. So don't do that. Don't draw back and punch, okay? Step and hit. Next punch I want to go over, or next type of jab, not next punch. The next type of jab I like to go over is the pivoting jab, okay? The pivoting jab. This is more stationary. You know, you just hear it pop. A pivoting jab, if I'm facing the camera, I'm pivoting off my front foot, kind of like how you throw a lead left hook. You know, I come this way, a lead hook. It's almost the same motion with my leg, and I'm exaggerating this a little bit because this will be real slight. I'm pivoting forward and letting that come out. Boom. Again, my whole body is coming forward and in. So it kind of comes up and goes forward and in. So I'm basically using my legs this time. This kind of has more power with your legs. Not so much with your weight, it's more with your legs, okay? So to demonstrate a pivoting jab, I pivot in, I pivot, and I tighten and I hit at impact. So as I'm here, boom. Just like that. And like I said, I'm exaggerating. Really, all you need is that much. I'm here. Boom. 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 And I'm just here. I want to breathe out. I want to hold my breath. Just a pivoting jab. It's just slight. All I'm doing is that much. But you can practice. When I practice this, I actually exaggerate it when I practice. That's just me. When you throw your jab, whether it's a stepping jab or pivoting jab, get in the habit of bringing it straight out and straight back. Don't let it drop like that. Don't, what I like to call turn the crank. You know, You turn the crank on somebody, they're gonna come over the top with a hook that you ain't gonna like. You know, they don't come over the top. You do that, and wow. Yeah, it's not good. Just not a good habit to be in. Straight in and straight back. So when I throw my pivoting jab, boom, boom, boom. And I want to bring it back because every now and again maybe you run across somebody that know how to box. They'll catch that mug and jab you back. They go like, pop, pop. You go to jab at them like that, they'll catch it and then return a jab. So I definitely want to bring that back home as fast as I can. So to recap just a little bit, the stepping jab, as I come forward, the power goes straight forward quite a bit. I'm probably hitting with legs, mass, and weight, okay? The pivoting jab, kind of using more legs, but it's kind of really the same thing. I'm pivoting in, boom. And the power goes out and comes back to me. So when I throw it, I hit, and I let my hips, the same thing that gets, this I'm using my hips. That's something else I guess I didn't mention. You know, somebody else referred to this as like putting a cigarette out, which I like that analogy. I use that myself, so I like it. I just turn my front foot and let my body go with it. I'm not kicking it out. I'm turning. Look like I broke Elvis, you know, something like that. So the same thing that gets the punch out is the same thing, just like your hips gets your punch out and gets the punch out, your hips gets you back in, which also sets up that cross. So if you throw a 1-2 or a jab cross, it'll go pop, pop. And see now, you know, I come here, boom, 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 boom. Because now my body is just going with it. 1-2, 1-2. But I ain't talking about the cross, but it does set up the cross, boom, boom. Same thing with the stepping jab, boom, boom. And I just turn into it. You can set it up with that. Like I said, it ain't about the cross, we're going with the jab. Just want to show that real quick. Another thing is I see people have trouble with, and this is probably the number one thing concerning the jab that I see most people have trouble with is and I ain't even doing that. It's the double jab. You know, a lot of times when you see people throw the double jab, I kind of alluded to this earlier, is you'll see like, if I say double jab, it'll be they'll just do with their arm like that. Or you'll see an awesome first jab, it'll be like, pow, and you know, it'll be like, pow, you know, the first one hits really hard because either they're coming forward or they're pivoting, and the second one is just an arm punch. It doesn't hit that hard. Or you'll see two, what do you call it? I call it aggressive pushes or whatever the hell you want to call it. You'll see the guy, you know, I see this mostly with men. I ain't gonna lie, when they learn it, they want to, they think this is a jab. Boom, boom, you know, and they kind of rock back before they hit. I guess I'm going to go back into this too. Another thing you don't want to do when you throw your jab, you don't want to rock back before you hit. I don't want to tell you when I want to hit you. You know, like I said, if you run across somebody that really knows what they're doing and they see that, or they see their elbow goes up before you throw that shot, trust me, they're going to hit you about twice or maybe 132 times or however fast they are. Either way, you're going to end up asleep. So you'll get knocked down. You don't want to do that. So keep it nice and tight. Keep your elbows in. That's another thing I guess I should have mentioned. Elbows in, straight out. Straight in, straight out. Or as you step and jab, straight in, straight out. Boom. Okay? Boom. Okay, like I said, let me go back to what I was saying, recap. Double jab. Like I said, you'll either see two weak ones, two people trying to push the jab, or you'll see an awesome first jab and a weak second jab. Usually it's a combination of the two. So what I do to kind of cheat to get power off both shots, but without compromising my speed, is that I usually combine the step and jab with the pivot jab, or step and jab, pivot jab, or I'll pivot and step, okay? So this way you can get your hips behind it. Let me demonstrate a little bit. So I'll use a step and pivot, so I'll step and jab, pivot jab. Step, pivot, right? So it looks like this, 1, 2. So I'm stepping in, step, pivot, step, pivot, step, pivot, okay? You can also go step and step. Since this thing doesn't move, and I'm not fighting a person, I'll probably move a little bit, move to the side a little bit, but you can also step and step. I'll do this in the air. Step, step. Step and step. Step and hit, step and hit. Step and hit, step and hit. Bam, bam. That you get power off both, so it'll be boom, 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 boom. And I'm moving forward. Same thing. And you can go pivot and step. Pivot, step. Pivot, step, right? So pivot jab, step and jab. Pivot, step. And you will learn how to use your hips. 1, 2, 1, 2. The hips, 1, 2. Jab, jab. Jab, jab, okay? That's how you get power. Now, rather than you throw a triple jab, maybe you throw 3, you just alternate them. Step, pivot, step. Step, step, pivot. You can step as many times as you want. Pivot's a little harder. It's hard to go pivot, pivot. You can do it, but it's a little harder to do. But I like to alternate them, but I'm going to do the budget easy version is a step and pivot. So if I want to throw a triple jab, I just combine them. So I go step, pivot, step. Step, pivot, step. Step, pivot, step. Okay, so if I throw 3, 1, 2, 3. Now I want to breathe out as I punch. And you'll see me kind of step a little bit. Step, pivot, step. This way you get power on all shots. That way you don't have to compensate by doing this. Now, one thing I will say about pushing your shots, and I'll show it again from southpaw if you want to see it from the back. Double jab, 1, 2, 1, 2. So I'm step, pivot, step, pivot, step, pivot, step, pivot, or step, pivot, step, step, pivot, step. Or however I want to do it. One thing I want to do, like I said, bring it back home. I know a couple times I probably didn't do that. I'm sure some fool on here critiquing me, whatever, screw you. But bring it out, bring it back. Make sure you use your footwork. The lighter you are on your feet, the harder you're going to punch when it lands. So to recap, like I said, relax your arm. Okay, arm only does that much work. My arm ain't doing that much work. I don't want to arm it. Okay. 2, add the hips, punch with your body, not with your arm. Boom or boom, and tighten at the end. At impact, I guess I should have said this earlier. When I punch, I want to tighten my fist at the end. The only time I want to be tight, I'm relaxed, and boom, I tighten. If you got gloves on, you got a fist. At the end, I'm not squeezing them together yet. I don't want to be tight all the way through because you get a lot of resistance in your muscles. I just want to tighten at the end. What that does, it gives you kind of a spring. But I don't want to cheat it and just do that. I want to go all the way out. Boom, boom, boom. The better you get, the more you'll have kind of a whip. It'll kind of give it a whip motion. So if you can do this, you can do that, and you can do that. Boom, there's a difference. Sit here sweating here, man. I'm out of shape, y'all. I'm out of shape. Trying to get back in shape. This is what I'm doing. I'm trying to think. There was one other aspect about the jab I was trying to remember. I think I covered everything for right now. I didn't cover everything. Like I said, there's 1,000,001 ways to throw the jab. Where I got this from, kind of my inspiration for this was the late Roger Green. He was I don't know what rank he was. He's probably some 8th dan in karate or whatever. He died a few years back. But I went to this seminar 20 years ago, and he kind of taught this lesson to me. And how he did it, he called this little girl up. This young girl, probably a teenager, she says, he told her, throw a reverse punch. Karate, yeah, they throws a punch or whatever, reverse punch. I'm not doing a perfect move or whatever. Had her do a reverse punch. And he asked her, then, how much do you weigh? She was a little shy about it. She said, about 110 pounds, whatever. And so he asked the crowd, he says, okay, everybody, do you think 110 pounds is a lot of weight? Everybody's like, well, no, that ain't a lot of weight. So then he says, so if I took a 100-pound weight, or 100-pound bar and hit you upside the head with it, do you think that's a lot of weight? And they're like, well, no, I don't want to get hit with 100 pounds. They're like, well, no. And basically what he was trying to say is, it doesn't matter how small you are, when you use your body behind a punch, you take all your weight and all your power, and that's what you hit with. One other thing I was going to say, now I remember what I was going to say. When I throw a jab, especially pivot jab, I think everybody can pretty much just kind of want to go over some things real quick. Most people on average, this is 20 pounds, most people can curl 20 to 30 pounds on average. Some people do a lot more. I can do like 60 or whatever, everybody can curl a weight, right? But just about everybody can squat 200, whether if it's easy or hard for you. Everybody can squat 200 pounds. So when you do a pivot jab or stepping jab, I'm using my legs and power. So think of it like this. Do you want to hit somebody with something that can do like maybe, I don't know, 20 to 40 pounds, or 60 if you're really strong, or do you want to hit something that has 200 pounds worth of power? So it's kind of like, do you want to run over them with a Hot Wheel, or do you want to run over them with a tank? You know, what do you want to use? So that's kind of my analogy. I know it's kind of a silly one, but that's what it is. Well, that's pretty much it. Like I said, this is me just kind of doing a workout, sharing some knowledge. As I'm getting back in shape myself, training, I know a lot of people are going to be in quarantine. Hopefully this is easy. You know, you can do a little something, just kind of work on your jab. I'm sure there'll be more videos to follow. There's a lot of people that's going to be online posting videos about their workouts and things like that. And I encourage you to watch them. You know, it'll help you. I don't know if this will last 2 weeks or 2 or 3 months. You just don't know. You know, so as you're working out in your makeshift gym, or if you got a real close friend or family members you want to work out with, maybe this is something to add to your arsenal, something real cool. You know, if you don't have a punching bag, like I said, you can do this on the wall. You know, lightly, just touch, boom. I'll stay far away, touch, and just touch, real slow. You don't have to do it fast. What they say, if you do it fast, how does that go? Anyway, there's a joke behind it. There's a sex joke behind it, but I'm gonna leave that alone. But basically, do it nice and slow, step and jab, and bring it up. Step and jab, bring it up. Step and jab, okay? Step and jab, step and jab, okay? And then pivot jab, boom. And I like to start further away from the bag so I know I'm getting full extension. And then I just barely touch it. If it's a wall or something soft, a pole or whatever, nice and soft. Shower curtain. Shower curtain is the best. Boom, just boom. You can do this on the shower curtain or whatever. If you want to check your form, do it in the mirror, you know, in the bathroom. You might look silly, but it is what it is. But see, I know a lot of people don't have mirrors everywhere. So another thing I like to do, like I see my shadow on the wall. Sometimes I just see my shadow, you know, I just kind of watch my shadow a little bit. You know, that's why they call it shadow boxing. You know, you watch a shadow. Well, it ain't why. I'm sure there's something behind it. But I do watch my shadow from time to time, just kind of see where my form is, check my form, and see how I look. Like I said, as you're in the apocalypse, or as you're in coronavirus, you know, like I said, kiss your loved ones, kiss your babies, check on your mamas, check on the older gentlemen. Wash your hands, wipe your ass, clean your ass. You know the deal. You know what to do. Be safe out there. I don't know if this is, you know, if it ain't no joke, be careful. If you know somebody that's sick, if they're in your household, take care of them, keep praying for them. I'm a man of faith, so pray for your people. And when this is all over, like I said, you can hit me up. And there's other places around town you can hit up. There's places like MKG Kansas City, and there's Low Kick Camp. Those are pretty much, you know, and there's a lot of people, Ron Dotson, a lot of people you can hit up after the fact, and of course myself. Check them out. You know, if you get more interest in it, send me or any of those guys a message on Facebook, and we'll be glad to show you a little something. Anyway, take care of yourselves. Be safe. God